collaborate and where we're seeing some actual fruit of all of us being, you know, in the foundation together. So that's exciting. Cool. Anything else on the Jenkins graduation, or anyone want to volunteer right now for that committee, for the working group?
See, I already volunteered for the PR thing, and I think I was going to do some other stuff. Oleg and I are talking about it.
Perfect. Yes, I'll pull you into. Yeah, I think you'll see all the various meetings we had to spin up. Thanks, Marky.
If anyone else wants to volunteer, you can add yourself to that bullet, and then Tracy will be able to look at that. Marky, do you want to give an update on the Spinnaker graduation process, or kind of progress, on what you're working on?
Yes, thank you. I've actually created the checklist and started going over from a very high level to see what effort's going to need to be put into this. I've spoken to some of the SIG leaders, as well as starting some light conversation with various members of the TOC from the CDF in regards to this. I'd say we are still on track for an October graduation. That will hopefully, I'd say to be honest, I'm going to say we're trending towards yellow on that, but hopefully we can get that back under more trending towards green.
Yeah, I think we need to, Marky, can we talk a little bit more specifically about what your needs are? And you and I can talk about this offline too, but if you think it's yellow, like, why is it yellow? What would it look like to make it not yellow? Tell me more. Can you share any of that?
So we're going to need a lot more openness from some of the leaders. Right now, it's trying to crack that nut has been extremely not easy.
Okay.
So and we've had some previous conversations about this, so that should not come as any surprise. But we definitely will want to. We're going to need a lot more willingness from some of the leaders in. I don't want to say this will sound wrong, and I'll correct it if it does. But we'll need some of the leaders to relinquish some control or to volunteer to actually help if we're going to get this over the finish line.
Okay, Marky, can we partner on that? Because we have talked some about this and some of the difficulties that you've been having, and I'd like to see if we could have a better result if we kind of tag team.
I sent you some requests for meetings, so just let me know when you're ready to do that. Slack and email.
You want to meet tomorrow afternoon, is that right? Yeah. So
that's what you had said. It was open for you. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's work together on that, because I don't, to me, it's not a good enough story to say, well, we tried to do it for October, but we didn't have enough willingness in the project leadership. Like, we need to figure that out. So let's plan on giving this group a more optimistic update next time. And hopefully, but we'll let you know if we still think it's yellow and ask for help. Anything else on graduation? Anything else from you, Marky? You got the checklist?
Nothing for me.
Okay, cool. So that's good on project graduations. Let's look back up here and see what else we got. Yeah. Should we talk about CDCon? Are we ready?
I think we are.
I mean, we could talk about DevOps World first if it might be shorter. We can talk about, I already said CDCon, so now, and Tracy's all excited now, so. All
right. No, I'm not really.
Okay, so we have some decisions that we need to make about CDCon, and working through making decisions about these virtual events is not easy. So I appreciate everyone who has taken the time to participate in this thus far. So we need to finalize the prospectus, the sponsor prospectus, and that will allow us to finalize the budget and make some more decisions about registration costs and sponsorship costs, etc. So I wanted to take a look first at is this the right thing? Yes. So these are the sponsorship, this is a draft of our sponsorship prospectus and I can share the link to this. Let me share the link to this so anyone who wants to look at it in a better way than what I can provide on my thing here. Oh, did somebody already put that in there? Maybe. All right. Yes. Love you, whoever you are. Okay. We decided to add an end user tier that is the same cost as a startup, but it's just for those companies that like don't want to get an expensive sponsorship but aren't startups. They should be able to, like your banks, might want to do an end user sponsorship. So that's one recent addition. But another thing that the working group is considering is raising the cost of our diamond sponsorship, because we considered this to be a pretty cheap diamond sponsorship when we compared it to several other prospectuses, especially those ones that Emily sent. And there's a little bit that we need to do. Oh, another detail here is that we're planning to offer the gold membership for the price of the silver membership to CDF member companies. So companies that are members can access the gold membership and those benefits at the price of the silver. And I think that's what Armory will do. But for the diamond sponsorship, the only thing that I wanted to point out to the group is that we still don't have a totally clear understanding of how the leads for this event are going to be managed and shared. I think what my recommendation is I think Tracy's recommendation is the leads are like one of the most that's the valuable thing that companies want. So I think probably reserving those for diamond sponsors, like only the diamond sponsors get the list of registered attendees and their contact information, and then the rest of the tiers just get whatever they scan in their booths. And I talked about maybe doing like this emails to opt-in attendees, maybe adding emails to some of the higher tiers so that they get emails as well, because like I think the leads are a lot more valuable than an email. So that was my feedback, and not all of our feedback has been finalized by this, but we were thinking about raising this to a higher amount.
And just so I can add to that, we really are thinking about not charging for attendees.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a way. We're trying to look at a way to charge more to our sponsors, and be able to provide this event at no cost to the attendees.
So here's a
and we really need this group's feedback. So please, let's just chat about if we should charge or not. Does anybody have any strong opinions about charging it? And if we charge, it's going to be like $25. So it's not a lot.
Yeah,
but it doesn't.
What we found is like, go ahead. Go ahead.
By the way, I'm Steven from JFrog. I figured I'd drop in for the outreach meeting, since I also just joined the governing board.
Thank you for
so
being here.
Joining.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah, no, glad to pop in, and it's been great listening to you all so far. So just to add some experience we had with our recent Swamp Up event.
Yeah.
So I think we did something differently in terms of charging than most other virtual conferences. Most of the conferences we've been sponsoring have been free for attendees.
Yeah.
And I think by comparison, it's much easier to get attendees for a free to attend event, because there's different expectations about folks' willingness to pay for virtual content than for in-person events. So what we decided to do for Swamp Up was a little bit different. We had paid tickets, but we donated all the proceeds to a charity for the paid tickets. So I would say that that sort of approach makes it harder to get attendees, because there's a higher barrier for entry, but it does get you higher attendance numbers. So it'll increase the number of folks who register to attendance ratio if you charge some sort of nominal fee for folks attending. So I wouldn't, my recommendation, just from like our experience, would be, it doesn't really make sense to charge for revenue purposes. You're not really going to offset the cost much compared to what you could get for sponsorships. But sometimes it would make sense to charge a nominal fee just to keep folks grounded and actually attending for the event which they signed up.
I
We
think that
actually
makes a
did
lot of
that
sense.
for Kubernetes. We did that for Kubernetes. We actually charged a fee that would be reimbursed after they showed up. And if they didn't show based off of the contact attendee list, then we did not reimburse the money. But we have to make sure if you do that, that you're very clear and transparent in the description of what and why you're doing it.
I like the idea of just donating it to a COVID, like donating it to a COVID charity, or perhaps to like a Black Lives Matter type of thing, and or give people the choice of which one they want to donate to, and then we maybe don't have to worry as much about giving the money back. But I do think nominal, like maybe $20, $25, something like that. Does that sound like in line with what you were thinking, Stephen and Marky?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty much exactly what I think we charge, something in that range. And if you're either donating to a charity or returning the funds to the employees, I like the charity thing as well. But if you're doing something like that, then I think it's most folks, even if their employer is not willing to fund the conference, like you can toss $20 in the pot. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, most of our lease companies, and then the only thing about it too that I think, like, if we're offering perks, it is nice to give folks some free passes, and then maybe we donate that money, like we donate anyway for those seats. I don't know, but it at least gives us the opportunity to offer that as a perk. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe that doesn't matter. That's a detail.
But I think the answer here is that we all agree that we shouldn't try to charge to make up for revenue. This is not a revenue exercise. Okay,
Agree.
so if we look at it, would you bring up the budget that we were just talking about?
Can we vote? Can we make sure that we have consensus on some kind of consensus on that? Just
let's look at the budget first, so everybody understands that we're going to be in the red.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, we're pretty far in the red on this event. So the total that we came up with when we eliminated some of the things that we know, like for example, we eliminated these name badges. We don't need those. We decided not to send gifts to attendees. We're still looking at, we're thinking that we'll probably need to ask the board or the budget committee for $110K for this. So
is the bulk of that going towards the platform we're using?
No, it goes to the Linux Foundation, 70,000 of it.
So we've
75,000 of it.
Yeah, so.
And this is with, if we have all the sponsor slots filled?
No. So this is the cost with no sponsorships.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the cost with no sponsorships. The event management fees, this is the biggest ticket item, is a $37,000. That's pre and post planning. I'm not sure, I don't understand what this on-site cost is. So I'm gonna highlight that in red and put a comment there.
That is for them to help us run the show on the days of the show.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's like helping out with, okay. And that actually is really helpful, so.
And that, and then if you go to the top, it's another $25,000 for setting up the AV and production of the speakers.
And we were surprised at the cost of that. So the virtual event platform is only $15,000, but we're using Hopin, and it doesn't have any like video production bells and whistles. So they said that we would need this much. They really wanted to produce the
that is if we want to make it a really clean look. Certainly we can't, we don't have to do that. We can
we don't
have our keynotes.
We don't have to pre-record. We don't have to pre-record the keynotes. I know, like for Spinnaker Live, we pre-recorded all the talk sessions, but we did not pre-record the keynotes, and those were live, and people seemed to like that. But it would cost more to so I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of maybe we should talk about that. Do people think, how do people feel about this cost right here?
Let's just not worry about that. Let's just say it's going to cost us $110,000. I mean, if we cut this off later. So we got $110,000 in expenses. Now let's go over to what we have to earn to get that. So we have these higher level amounts. We did have the diamond at 15,000. But if we look at, let's say, I know we're not KubeCon, but KubeCon's diamond's 170,000. And this one, we believe they should get all of the emails at the diamond level, and we're trying to get 1,000 people. So that's about $25 an email. We did have it at 15, and I've asked that we increase it to 25 just to help make up for not charging for the attendees. And then platinum, we had it at 10 and we raised it to 15. So I think what the feedback we need from this group is, do we think that 25 for a diamond and 15 for whatever the next one is?
So just getting back to something earlier that was brought up about leads for the event and which tier gets leads.
Diamond.
I think for most companies which are evaluating sponsorships, that's probably, obviously there's other benefits to sponsoring for awareness and other activities, but probably lead
It's the
generation
way
is the
biggest.
number. It's
Yeah.
the number one activity. What I've seen other conferences which we sponsor do is, for the top tier sponsor, they'll give all the leads, or all the leads which opt in. For lower tiers, what they do is they give you the leads not just for folks who come to the booth. The challenge with booths is virtual booths are not the same as physical event booths, and I think we all know the reasons why. But if you give folks the leads for folks who come to their session, and presumably there's some sponsor track or some way for folks to have session content which doesn't interfere with the committee selected session content, but that gives a way to provide higher value to possibly the second and third tiers, where you're going to get more folks to sponsor if there's some lead opportunity, but you don't want to give them all the leads for the event. You want to do it in a way which matches the level that they're sponsoring. And I think if you do something like that, it makes the cost per level more reasonable given what you guys have now, right? It's a lot to ask people for 15,000 and no leads, or only leads that come to the booth. And I think providing some benefit that matches the tiering will get more folks interested in tiers other than the top tier.
So let's go back to those tiers. And
I
Rosalind?
love that idea, and I'm so glad you joined the call, Stephen. That's a good idea.
So then maybe maybe diamond gets the leads, and platinum gets a option to have the Linux Foundation email out, and both diamond and platinum have speaker opportunities, and the platinum gets the leads from whoever showed up to their session.
So, okay, so platinum gets the email opportunity, and platinum also gets the leads for those.
Platinum gets the opportunity for the Linux Foundation to send out the leads.
I don't know.
Like
what that means.
a message sent to the leads, but you don't get direct access.
Yeah, the Linux Foundation sends the emails out.
Yeah, I added that here. I put an X here. So that's nothing.
Well, let's make sure because Rosalind will never remember what that X is, because we want the diamonds.
Yeah, we do, because it's in a labeled row, Tracy. Come on. This is a.
Hey, Rosalind, can you not interrupt? Please just don't do that. That's not okay.
So emails to opt-in attendees, we want the diamond folks to actually get the whole list, right?
Yeah.
And then the platinum folks would get the ability to send an email to the Linux Foundation, and the Linux Foundation would send it out on behalf of the platinum folks.
Okay, so you're saying, well, I am trying to understand what you're saying, and what I hear is that you think that the diamond tier wouldn't get that. They just get the leads, and then they can send their own email. But for the platinum tier, they would get the. Okay, so essentially we remove this, and then this X is maybe perhaps a little bit more meaningful, or we move this to over here.
We have to clarify, Rachel was going to clarify that what that says, their emails to opt-in attendees, that means that they get the emails themselves, which is what they're going to want for $25,000. They're going to want those emails so they can do what they want with them.
Yeah, so
And then-
I'm kind of made a new column here. So here, so I just want to say like leads and contact info. So
Okay.
this is gets all attendee leads. That's what I'm
Right.
hearing from you.
Right.
And then
Okay,
the
yes.
platinum doesn't get those, but they get leads from their sessions. Is that right?
The Platinum gets two options. They get one option for the Linux Foundation to send an email out on their behalf,
Uh-huh.
and then they get emails from their session. Yes,
Yeah.
from their speaker session.
Rosalind, it's Colleen from the Linux Foundation. I just wanted to jump in really quick about giving all the leads away because for GDPR and privacy policies, you can only give the leads that people opt into, and we have to add language saying that you're, allowing our diamond sponsors to share this information.
I think that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Okay, just want to make sure everyone is aware of that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
that makes sense.
And yeah.
Yeah. Do need to communicate that to folks when they're registering. Yeah. And then the gold sponsors, would they also get leads from the speaker sessions, but they don't
Not
get
for
the,
seven. No, I think they just get their. I
they
think
don't get
gold.
anything.
Yeah,
Gold gets nothing. Does that, Stephen, does
gold
this
gets
drive
what's
with what
already
you were
listed.
thinking? Stephen, does this drive with what you were thinking about?
Yeah, no, I think this is, it provides a lot more value for folks who are not doing diamond sponsors. So it increases the pool of folks who are interested to sponsor, right?
Yeah. And if we can get, a number of these, that would be really great. Okay. Marky, did you have any more feedback that I didn't capture here? Or any stuff to add?
No, I'm good.
All right. Let's.
So I was going to say, like, just looking at the high level budget, this seems like it's a very kind of heavyweight conference. And I think the decision to do it is directly tied to the sponsors. So either we've got those 4 is it diamond sponsors, or we've got the 6 platinum.
Yeah, we
need that.
almost need 2 diamond, Tracy, I think. Do you think we could get 2 diamond?
Yeah. Well, that's the big question I would ask, because I say if, we're not the CNCF, we're much more in the scrappy startup side of things. And if we go back to like, what are the goals of the conference? Does it have to be done in a big kind of heavyweight way? We can see what we're doing with DevOps World, and that's going to be kind of more 20K. So just looking at the risk of what we have to, as a foundation incur, if we can't get the sponsors, I think.
Yeah, I
should
think
be
that we
asking
have to.
ourselves if that's the right thing.
I think we should be saying. That's why I said we should say this is going to cost us $110,000, and that's what we believe it's going to cost.
I agree with you, but that's another reason why I was looking pretty hard at costs like this. If we can cut $25,000 off of it because we decide we don't want to produce the keynotes, which maybe we do want to, but then that eliminates the need for a second diamond sponsor. So it's a pretty big chunk.
Right, and we can, and if we go ahead and ask for 110, and we're not getting the sponsors, then we can go back and ask. We can start cutting the cost.
Yeah, then we can pull that later. That's a good idea. So this is almost like lines 4 and 5 are almost like an escape hatch for us. So we try to find 2 diamond sponsors. And if we can't find 2 diamond sponsors, we're like, well, this is a scrappy conference. We're not pre-recording anything.
Yeah, and all the keynotes are going to do a Zoom meeting where we're going to record an MP4 and play it,
Hey, we can figure it out. Okay. So
I like that.
I think the next thing we wanted to do was see who on the call is excited about sponsoring this event. Is that fair? Yeah. So I think we can make the commitment that Armory would love to get a silver sponsorship and turn it into gold because we're a member. So I can make a commitment to that. So I will write that
I can make it a commitment to it for Deploy Hub, and if I play with my budget,
which one?
to the I think what you have to go back. I can't.
Sorry, Tracy.
At the silver, and if I can push some other stuff. I would do the silver.
Because you qualify for the startup, like you said.
I know,
You're
but
very-
if I really want to do this, I'd probably do platinum. But we'll
Yeah.
figure at least a silver.
Okay, so Armory, silver,
But is
deploy,
it who of the bigger? Stephen, do you think JFrog would do a platinum or a diamond?
Yeah. So actually, Pearl, who also joined me on the call, she runs events at JFrog. Her and I were chatting, and we can commit to doing platinum. We might do diamonds, so we have to figure out what our budget is.
Okay.
Oh, that's so exciting. Okay, so
And what about CloudBeast, Tracy? What do you think they might do?
Yeah, Alyssa, I think that's one we can take
Yeah.
back. What, any thoughts at this stage?
So for sure that we will sponsor. But I need to circle back with regards to budget, because we did not plan this on our budget planning beginning of the year. But right now I'm looking at either gold or silver, but chances are we may be able to do platinum.
okay.
But I need to check our.
Okay, so we'll
our
put.
team.
So that's right there. We have about and what we just, if we had 2 platinums and that's 40,000. So that's a $60,000 deficit, and we haven't even really started. So I feel like we should be pretty confident to say 110 is what our budget's going to be, and these numbers, the diamond platinum levels, I think these work, and make sure that the diamond get all of the leads, and anybody whose diamond is, it's advertised on the sign up that says these companies are going to get your email notifications. I think that will work.
Yeah, it is encouraging to get some commitments, and there are lots of others that we could ask for. So, okay, so it sounds like we've really made some decisions.
You could put option X in there.
Yeah, which
I apologize for interrupting.
No, that's okay.
Put
Marky,
us at silver, trending for gold.
Yeah, well, and you'll get yeah, okay, perfect. I will add OpsumX on there. Thank you, Marky.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Considering gold. All right. Awesome. So it sounds like decisions we've made. Do we want to make a decision on what do we think sounds like a good number for the donation amount, the ticket price amount? Any thoughts there? Because that was another one of the decisions that we wanted to make, but I'll list the other ones now.
So these are my thoughts, even though I think it's a really honorable thing to do. I don't know if I don't know how, we'd have to give the money, we'd have to definitely give it to charity. I don't know if we could figure out, we'd have to talk to the Linux Foundation on how to refund it. So I don't know if we could do that easily.
Yeah, that one sounds more complicated for me. I like the charitable donation a little bit.
And
better.
I still feel like we should just open it up for everybody, and make the donation something that's optional.
Okay, so we could say, get your ticket now, and maybe there's some way to do that where it's like folks can sign up and get their ticket, and they have the option of paying the ticket price, knowing that it's going to be a donation. I wonder if there's a way to do that. So maybe we can ask Emily if there's a way to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I just don't want to make, I want to make sure there's no barriers for anybody signing up. I think that we are young and scrappy, and getting as many people in the door as possible is important.
I think that's true. I think Stephen's point was just that you potentially end up with more attendees who take the time to, put it in their schedule and do it if they do have to pay a little bit. Maybe the optional donation thing gets rid of that, but I guess, are you saying that you don't consider that factor as important to mitigate as it is to get as many people? Like, I guess I want to talk a little bit more about that if we can.
Yeah, so I think we could table that for our next discussion of how we're going to do that, but let's get the budget sorted out.
Okay, well,
if we do decide, so I was just going to say, if we do decide to put the, the gate on something like $20, I think just having an option for people to buy tickets for like diversity tickets, I've seen that work really well for other conferences. So you can sort of buy yourself a ticket, which is a donation, and sponsor somebody else, and then CDF just manages it. So we kind of give away a bunch of tickets for free, especially to underrepresented folks or students, and I think that can work well to make sure it's accessible to everybody.
Okay, so
Thank you, Tracy. That is awesome.
I like that. Yeah. Can we use a diversity sponsorship option to make sure it's free for those who need it, but also generate some donation cash? I really like that idea, so I wrote that down. So this is what's left to decide. Am I missing anything? And maybe Jackie, am I missing anything that we needed to decide that we didn't decide? I think how much registration is going to cost, finalizing the prospectus. So we're good with this sponsorship prospectus. We have elevated these levels a little bit. Stephen gave us some great tips on leads. Yeah, I think we're good. So the other thing I would put on here is prospectus, if I can spell that word, is final. Okay. So that is awesome. Thank you, folks. Let's circle back to the DevOps world conversation and give that a few minutes. Sorry not to leave more time for that. I think that's Jackie.
Yep, yes. So we have a 20-minute keynote available to us. And so Alyssa and I have already engaged with the events team at CloudBees and their producer. So it's the overall theme is basically like the future software delivery. What I had talked about with the CloudBees folks was basically CDF and community in the future, like basically how community influences the future of software delivery and the role that the CDF plays. I wanted to have more of a focus around community and how basically the story would be how open source community has helped move software delivery forward, and how it's also, by adding the human component, of how it's also helped individuals. And so this is also, I was thinking of, I had submitted a talk on the power of community with Marky and also with Tracy Reagan, and basically how open source community has, influenced their lives in a positive way. So that was kind of the high level keynote. Alyssa, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think you've covered it all. I guess what I need to know is, number one, we had talked about whether that the budget for this event has been approved, Jackie. I think you mentioned July 10th, but yeah, I'm not sure.
So all of the board members have rolled in slowly, and yeah, it's pretty much approved. So that was the other thing that budget's approved, and so the next steps are, the keynote, and I know Marky, I've talked to you about that that talk. So I think we might convert that talk into the keynote. And
that's exciting.
Yeah, and I think it would be awesome. It'd be more of a panel discussion where, I introduce the CDF, its charter, what we're doing in the community to help move software delivery forward, but then also bring the human component to it and what open source has done for folks and how that's actually influence the future, and how it continues to influence the future of software delivery. Sorry, I know, Marky, I've talked to you about this, and Tracy Reagan too, but I submitted as a talk, so I think we're just going to convert it into the keynote. It's 20 minutes. So I think it'd be kind of high level, how has open source influenced your life? And then how have you reciprocated that back into the community? And then what CDF is doing to continue pushing that forward.
So Jackie, so I did see that submission went through the CFP, and I went ahead and approve it for the breakout session. So not a problem for me to move it to the keynotes, but I think that is a good idea and a good topic to discuss for the keynote, because what I'm seeing within the submissions, and Marky is part of our CFP reviewer committee. He's seen a lot of the submissions as well, but I think it falls in line, and it's a great opening for what people can expect within our breakout session. So it's very relevant and it's related.
Yeah,
so I think
I want
plus
something
one
that
for me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So I wanted something that was a little bit more inspirational, but still was relatable to the technical audience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I think it works.
Cool.
That's exciting.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Alyssa.
Yes,
Any
thank
other-
you.
Thanks, Marky.
Any other support that's needed on DevOps World before we sign off? Looks like there's links here, sign up to be a speaker, sign up to be a booth volunteer. When we say
Yeah.
sign up to be a speaker, can you tell me more what that means? That's a breakout speaker or?
Well, yes, let me talk and then I'll explain everything. So yes, so we have sent out communication to all of the CD Summit Europe speakers and let them know that this is the sign-up sheet. If, we apologize to them and let them know that, unfortunately we had to cancel CD Summit, but we are offering them the opportunity to roll over their talk to the DevOps World track. So folks have already started filling it out. And then, so not honestly, probably slots 5 through 9 are folks from the Europe program. And those have been the only ones that have signed up. So I've opened it up to the ambassadors now. And then and then we're opening it up as well to our members.
Did this
Okay,
go out to the members yet?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Am I able to share this with folks at Armory?
Yes, please. So I will review it. Basically, what I'm thinking is depending on these submissions, we'll start putting caps on how many submissions folks have started. But yeah, this is basically, it's opened up to our members now. So start populating it.
I don't
So
think I saw
Jackie-
that come through. Maybe
Yeah,
it
I
did.
haven't sent that email out yet. So
Oh,
I've
okay,
announced
okay.
it in the meetings. So like we had our ambassador meeting today, that was announced there. And then I'm announcing it here, and then I'm announcing it tomorrow in our monthly member meeting call. So that's
Awesome.
I've been announcing it by word of mouth right now, but then I'll send out an email tomorrow after it's been brought up to the monthly members.
Okay.
So Jackie, will these submissions go through a review/grading?
No,
Process?
remember we decided that it was going to be on a first come, first serve basis.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're curating all of the content. So I think what we'll have to do is we'll review them, and then just if there's other folks that want to sign up, and there's maybe like multiple folks who signed up for speaking slots, then we can just, I'll work behind the scenes to move folks around.
Yeah, especially like for those folks who signed up to give more than one talk themselves as individuals, like maybe they have to choose one, and then that makes room for others if it comes up.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, because I have submissions that came through the DevOps World CFP, which I was thinking that maybe we can also use in the
In the track.
in
or
this
in
track, in the
in this
CDF
track.
track. If
Yeah.
you need slots to fill.
Okay, yeah, let me touch base with you after
Yeah.
I sent that email out tomorrow. And then we can look at that list and start moving things around.
Okay. Well, actually, I can share it with you right now. So you
Okay,
can take a
perfect.
look
Yeah,
at
send
it.
it over. Yeah, and then the other sign up sheet is volunteers for the booths.
Yeah, I think it should be required that each exhibiting member should have staffing there at the booth.
Oh,
Each
so
what?
Required.
if you provide documentation, then you should volunteer. Then you have to volunteer. Or
No,
what do you
well,
mean
I
by
think, well, if so, I haven't seen what the booth will look like, whether it's going to be like a pavilion where, I think initially, if we were to do this in person, we would have like a community pavilion where we have individual community projects under this pavilion. We might be doing the same thing. I'm not exactly sure because I haven't seen the layout of it. But if we do that, if we have, you know, a kiosk or a booth space for each project, then I think it should be required that it is staffed by its, you know, members. Does that make sense?
Okay, so yeah, well, can you dig into that? Because my understanding was that we were going to get one CDF booth.
Mm-hmm.
And normally how we've been doing it for other virtual events is everything is CDF branded. And then we ask folks to volunteer an hour of their time. So they kind of come in and out of the booth to staff it. And then we've also asked folks to, if they wanted to provide marketing collateral to download, we upload that into the booth. So if that's changed, let me know. Because yeah, so just let us know.
Yeah, I think we should dig into the details of what the platform has to offer and how it's all configured. And we are over time, so I want to be respectful to that. So is there anything that anyone wants to bring up now or add to the agenda for next time? What do you have for next time? We'll check in on project graduations again, probably. Is there anything else? Sign up, make sure you sign up to volunteer. Make sure you share these links at your companies so folks can submit content.
So I just want to make, Rosalind, are you going to make the request for the 110K?
I'm happy to do that. I don't know. Is there anything on GitHub about how to do a budget request in the CDF? I haven't seen it. I'm happy to do it, but I can just do it via email. If there's not a way to do it. But I can talk to like you or Tracy offline about that if that helps.
Okay, yeah, find out. So we need to go ahead and get that started so we can move forward.
Sense. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? All right. I'll see you folks in a couple weeks. Thanks for, I'm glad we finally made some decisions about CDCon. I'm really excited about these upcoming events. So I hope you all have a good rest of your week.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Rosalind.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.